Good evening, and thank you so much for joining Pellissippi State's Earn and Learn webinar tonight. We'll give it just a few minutes so that everyone can get logged in before we start. So in just a couple of minutes, we'll begin. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Pellissippi State's Earn and Learn webinar this evening. My name's Connie Miller. I'm an Enrollment Services Coordinator, and tonight I have with me Luke Smith. He is our Earn and Learn Specialist, and I'll get Luke started right now. Thanks, Luke. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Connie. Hello, everybody. So I'd like to talk a little bit about Earn and Learn and how you all can be considered for a fall 2026 start with our Earn and Learn program. So we currently have 4 programs available for Earn and Learn. We've got Civil and Construction Engineering Technology, which began this fall. Computer Information Technology Cyber Defense, which will begin fall 2026, Electrical Engineering Technology, and Water Quality Technology both are in their second year. So it's pretty new. And so I'll talk a little bit about what they are.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Luke. For everybody in the webinar, if you don't mind holding your questions or just typing your questions into the Q&A, we'll save those for the end, and then Luke or I can answer those for you. So if any questions you have, just type them into the Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully I answer some of the questions in this webinar. We'll see. Okay, so these are all academic programs that we have at our college already, and you don't have to do Earn and Learn to participate in these programs, but Earn and Learn is a unique opportunity, and I'll explain why in just a second. But our Electrical Engineering Technology program is designed to teach hands-on circuit and analytics, soldering, programming, robotics, those type of skills for a career in electronics, industrial maintenance, production assistant, with an associate engineering technician degree. We have a water quality technology program that you'll be studying chemical and biological principles, water treatment systems. So these jobs are typically at the utility plants. So electronics technician, industrial maintenance technician. So you'll see these types of careers at a water treatment facility. So our Civil and Construction Engineering Technology is for hands-on instruction in surveying, cost budgeting, project management, and materials testing, for example. And a type of career you could expect with this could be a civil engineering technician, inspector, a surveying technician, a construction estimator. We have in this program a transfer option to the University of Tennessee in construction science management. Oops. All right, and lastly, starting fall 2026, you can do Earn and Learn in this academic program, which is cyber defense. You can study computer systems. You'll learn about networking and programming, but this concentration is about cyber defense. So learning how to prevent security breaches from terrorist attacks, for example. So you can think of an IT security technician as a job, a security systems administrator, information assurance analyst, are some examples. So what is Earn and Learn? Earn and Learn is an opportunity for students to gain real life experience, mentorship actually, from working professionals in the field. So this is a chance for employers to mentor and co-educate with Pellissippi. You'll study 2 days a week and work up to 3 days or 20 to 25 hours at a company, working and getting paid. So that's the earn and learn part of this. You get paid sometimes $17, $18 an hour, depending on the program. You will complete with an associate's degree and 2 years experience in the field. So a sample schedule would look like a Tuesday, Thursday class with working Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, so the benefits of Earn and Learn. Well, from the employer side, you can think about that talent pipeline. A lot of employers say they're looking for qualified employees, and so with that education, every year graduating students into their company, into the workforce with the skills that they need for the job. These employers are really interested in strengthening community partnerships, and they can retain their interns by hiring them on afterwards. That is not a requirement, it's not a guarantee, but a lot of companies are considering, after spending 2 years with these interns, they're considering hiring them. For the student, I think you can see the benefit. It's a real wage. You get $17, $18 an hour in some of the programs. So it's part-time, but it's that's good money while you're working. You'll get 2 years of real-world experience. So you're learning something in the classroom, and you may think, "How am I going to use that? What's that really look like?" And then there you are, like in the job, and somebody is giving you a project. You're like, "I just learned about that in class." You'll be working alongside professionals who have been doing it a couple of years, and they're going to give you their little tips and tricks along the way that you maybe not even learn in class. You'll learn about a lot of different kinds of opportunities as well, because each company is going to represent a little bit different of how those skills are applied. You'll also learn some people call them soft skills. I like to call them durable skills, valuable work ethic. So communication skills, you'll learn critical thinking skills, because you're going to be working in the industry, real world experience, and you have to think through real situations. You may be, working a program where you're designing so in our civil and construction engineering technology program, we've got students that are actually working for utilities engineering company, designing where utilities are going to go. So that's a unique opportunity, and you're going to make connections with the people in the industry that you are hoping to graduate and work in. So if they don't hire you, that's not a requirement for them to hire you, but if they don't, you'll know people that you've worked with over the past 2 years who can really help set you up, maybe offer you a job. You'll have this on your resume, so you can start to see the benefits there. All right, so if this is something that sounds interesting and you want to know more, how do you get considered? There is an interest form, and I'll show you that in a second, how to apply. And with that, you'll need to begin working on a resume. So you'll need a resume for this to be considered. It is competitive, and I'll show you in a second the companies we have who have partnered with us. There is really only maybe 1 or 2 spots for each company. Okay, so the resume is one way that employers will consider whether they will hire you or not. So I can help work with you on getting your resume ready. That's part of my job. I want everyone to succeed. So the sooner you begin, the sooner you consider this, the better, because you can send me your resume and I can give you notes and feedback, and we can work together to get your resume ready. you will complete an assessment, and the assessments will be a little different according to the program that you're applying to. But these are just one little piece of information to see, your mechanical aptitude or dependability, for example. So our faculty have identified certain different assessments that they would like the employers to see and the way they make their decisions. It's just one piece of information along with the resume and the interview. The interview is the final step, really, in that application process. So every student who wants to participate in Earn and Learn will interview at these companies. You'll get to interview with every company. And so, like the resume, I suggest working at your interview skills. I can help. We can do mock interviews. You can prepare. I can give you tips and tricks as well on how to present your best self. Because if anyone's ever done an interview before, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. So I'd like everybody to be prepared for that. So finally, after interview day, the employers will make their selection. They will choose their candidates, and then those candidates, I'll reach out to them, and they can invite friends and family to have this thing we call signing day, where they'll sign, their commitment to work at this company for the next 2 years while they study. And it's kind of a celebration. Sometimes the employers bring hats or something and take pictures and everything. So we have some really wonderful program partners. So whether it's electric engineering, you can see Arconic and Denso, Aquachem are participating in this. RBM Services, they make medical devices. So there's kind of a variety of different work experiences you can have based on who you're working for. So you'll be studying the same thing as everybody else, but your work is going to look different according to where you are. So the water quality companies here, you can see West Knox Utility, South Blunt, City of Alcoa, KUB, and Tellico Reservoir. So these are water treatment plants, a lot of them, and you'll be doing, that kind of lab work and things like that. And so 3 days a week, you'll be going on site to one of these places, and then 2 days a week, you'll be at school learning. Our construction civil engineering has Messer as a partner. They're building that airport extension, the parking lot over there, and Gresham Smith, that's that utility design engineering firm I mentioned earlier. So at each of these companies, you're going to get a variety of experiences working alongside professionals who have been in the field. Some of them have even graduated from Pellissippi. As we add employers for next year, we're going to have more opportunities. But as you can see, as I mentioned, there's only a few opportunities at each company. So that's why it is competitive at this point. So I'm sure that you have a lot of questions, but a lot of questions that I get asked a lot is how long is the program? What am I committing to as a student? So the program is 2 years. It's like a 2-year internship. If you're graduating, high school, you'll be starting freshman year in fall 2026. That means you'll work through breaks. Now you're a part-time employee of this company, which means, your time off isn't the same as every other student, right? So you're working maybe over Christmas break, you're working the summers, that next summer after your freshman year, you'll be working. So that's a big ask, right? So work school life balance. It's a big commitment. It's not for everybody. And so, it's really for somebody who is ready to take on something like this. Not everybody is ready to give up their fall break, for example. So is there a guaranteed job after degree completion? Or an expected commitment by the student to remain at the company? So sometimes the student's learning what they like, what they don't like. So you are committed to stay at the company for 2 years while you study. But after you complete your degree, no, you can decide to transfer to it. Sometimes you want to transfer and go get your bachelor's degree. And so, that's totally acceptable. And, that's the employers are expecting you to make a decision after that 2 years. The employers themselves are making a decision. They are not required to hire you. It is kind of my hope that, it works well and that they would extend that offer of employment if that's something that the student wants, but not required. I can say that right now we've got a student who's graduating in December. That was that student's timeline, and he did get offered employment, and he'll continue working at the company, and he's transferring to the to UT. So it's actually working out really well. They're going to continue working that part-time schedule with him. So you have different opportunities based on the company that you are applying to. So this is the interest form. It is due March 1st. Okay, so you have a few months. It only takes a couple minutes to fill it out. But I would say the earlier you can fill this out, the better, because then we'll know who's interested and we can communicate with you directly. At that point, when I see that you've filled out an interest form, I will send an email directly to you, and you can answer and ask and answer questions, directly with me. We can meet and I can help explain anything else. So if you're still not really sure, you're not really quite understanding it, I would suggest, but you are interested, I would suggest doing the interest form anyways, and then I can kind of clear some stuff up for you, hopefully, if you fill that out. All right, so we have, like I said, 4 programs, and there's 2 of us that manage these 4 programs. Okay, we've got John Gilbert. He's actually based out of the Blount County campus, but we all work every campus, depending on where the students are. But he manages the electrical engineering technology and the water quality technology program. And I'm Luke Smith, and I manage the civil and construction engineering, and I will manage the CIT cyber defense once that begins in fall of 2026. All right.
So I'm just going to cover a few things regarding why Pellissippi State. Very conveniently located. Now, with the Earn and Learn, some of them do have specific campuses that you would be taking your courses at. But, a lot of students come with their Tennessee Promise fresh out of high school, or Tennessee Reconnect for our adult learners. So that could mean tuition free. But also our tuition is very low if a student did have to pay. What's really nice, the classroom size is small, so it gives the student an opportunity to really engage with the professor and their fellow classmates. And for most of our programs, they have a great transfer rate to the four-year institutions. We do have a few career programs that are more designed to go out into the workforce rather than to transfer to a four-year institution. And the academics, you are going to get the best education at Pellissippi possible. Our professors and instructors their whole purpose is student success. So they're going to make sure you get all the opportunities, all the academics you need, all the engagement to be very successful while you're here and after that. So Pellissippi is just a great place to be. Okay, apply now. So Luke's going to switch to the next screen, and that will kind of give you an idea. I can kind of discuss how to get enrolled at Pellissippi State. So where to start? Great. You want to complete your application on our website. We do not have an application fee. After that, we need you to send us your high school transcripts and any college transcripts that you may have. We'd like your ACT scores. We can use those if they're within the last 5 years. So for an adult learner, if your ACT scores are older than 5 years, college credit would help, or you could take our AccuPlacer. And that's our placement test. That is Mariana with PAX. She is our women's soccer coach because we now have junior college athletics. So there's our contact information. You can email us, text, hit us up on chat, or you could call. Now we're going to open it up for questions, and we do have some good questions in the Q&A. I'm going to ask first, Luke, are these Earn and Learn programs only a fall start?
Yes, the water quality technology, we are discussing when the best time to start with that is. So that one, there may be an update. We will follow up with those interested on the interest form because we're still kind of learning when the best start for that program is. But the other ones are all, yes, fall 2026.
Another great question. Do you guys have plans to expand the Earn and Learn to the welding technology degree?
We actually have talked about that program and all of our applied science, which we call our career programs. We have hopes to expand this, but um, yeah, not next year though. But we've talked about it. Yeah. So if you have any employers that you know would want to hire welders, please have them reach out because that's kind of one of the first places we'll start, right?
And then we have another question, Luke, that I think is pertaining to Earn and Learn. It says they have already applied and their school has sent their transcripts. How do they know if I'm getting in or if I have gotten in? So Pellissippi State is an open enrollment college. So as long as you've sent your high school transcript or your high set or GED, and graduated high school. That is one of the requirements. And then we also would need either your ACT scores or a placement test, which is our AccuPlacer, or college level credit. I hope that answered your question, but if it's more specific just to the Earn and Learn, please go ahead and shoot us another one in Q&A so that Luke could go farther into that question if that's what you were asking. And then it looks like we've got another one here. How do I apply? So you'll go on Pellissippi's website and you'll see apply now. You'll fill out your application. We do not have an application fee. Then you will want to do the same things, have your transcript sent, high school, if you've got a GED or high set, send those, ACT scores, or take our AccuPlacer placement test. Uh, or if you have college level English and math, and then you also said that you're interested in criminal justice. We do have that program. We have a career program, the 2-year Associates of Applied Science degree, and we also have a transfer pathway in criminal justice also. It looks like we do have another question. It says, could we check to see if we've gotten your application? And the person gives their name. And actually, Mia, I got an email about you today that I've responded to. So we have gotten your application, and your high school transcript, and Mark Smith reached out to me, and he can respond to you on the rest of the email just to kind of let you know what your next steps are. But yes, we're looking forward to you attending spring semester, I believe. Luke, do you see other questions in the Q&A?
No, I don't. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. We do have another question. This student asked, what do my ACT scores need to be? Well, to begin at Pellissippi State as a college level student to start with in all college level classes, you need an 18 in English, a 19 in reading, and a 19 in math. Now, if your ACT reading score is between a 15 and an 18, we do give you the opportunity to take our AccuPlacer to see if you can improve your reading score. And that is not timed and it's free. So, and then in the other areas, if say your math score is below a 19, we'd have you take your first college level math course, but we would have you take a learning support course with it, just to help you to be successful in that first college level math course. And then we do have a student who asked, do they have any positions available in relation to financial aid advisors? And I'm not sure if that person is asking for Earn and Learn or not. If you were looking for employment with Pellissippi State, you would find that on the TBR website if that's what you're inquiring about. But Luke, we don't have an Earn and Learn in financial aid advising or anything like that, do we? Um, okay, and this person is asking, what is the first day of the fall semester? So for spring, the first day is January 20th. And for fall, hmm, Luke, do you know fall's first day of class yet?
No, it did start like August 20th this past year, or August 23rd this past year. So I would anticipate something similar to that. And if they were meaning, sorry to that previous question, if they were meaning a financial advisor like a bank, um, we do not have that Earn and Learn yet, but we do have programs, academic programs that would help you, prepare for a career in that. And we can always talk about internships and other capacities. It's just not an Earn and Learn with that 2 year that's kind of a special thing about Earn and Learn. It's that 2 year long internship. But we can always talk about getting an internship maybe over the summer or semester long. We work with students all the time studying different academic programs. I think I also should have mentioned too, and this might not have been a question yet, but what happens if you don't get accepted to Earn and Learn, but you still want to study in that program? By all means, you can always, register for classes and study in that program. And even sometimes that means maybe you don't get hired in Earn and Learn the first time around, but you might have an opportunity to interview again.
Yes, and we do have a transfer pathway in finance. So maybe if that question about the financial advisor was meant, maybe I misunderstood, but yeah, we do have a transfer pathway in finance to transfer onto a 4-year institution to get your bachelor's degree. Does anybody else have any questions that we can answer for you tonight? Okay, so we do have a question. If I graduated in 2018, have sent my transcript in, and have no holds on my account, does that mean I don't have to take any further testing? So if you don't have a hold on your account, if you have college credit that would have came in from a previous college institution where you took English and math, that could be the reason why you don't have a hold on your account. Normally, a student who has been out of school since 2018 would either have to take our AccuPlacer or have either maybe dual enrollment when they were in high school to where they attended a college like Pellissippi and took an English or math course, or have some kind of transfer math and English from a college or university. And one more student says, how will I know if I get in? So if you're wondering about getting into the college itself, once you provide your high school diploma with graduation date or your HiSET or your GED and do your testing, you would definitely be admitted to the college. For Earn and Learn, like Luke said, they do have an assessment that you take, an interview, and there was one other thing, Luke wasn't there?
Yeah, the interview, after the interview is when you'd know. So the after the interview, the employers decide, excuse me, sorry, and then I would be the one that tells you. Excuse me.
And do you have those steps that you could put up on the screen again in case that's what the student was asking?
Okay, yes, here's the steps, right? So that interview right there, those are going to be in March or actually April next year, 2026. And so at that point, you'll know. You'll know about the next fall, so fall 2026. So you'll have plenty of time to prepare ahead of time. if you're obviously that's a big change, you'll need some time to kind of prepare for that.
And then Luke, another student said, thank you for your presentation and all the information about the program, and hope you have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. My pleasure.
Thank you all. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good evening. Oh, there is one more question. How long does the radiologic technology program take to be done? There are some foundational courses that go along with the RadTech program. So the RadTech program is, let me pull it up really quick. It won't take but a second. And I can tell you with the foundational courses how many semesters that one is. So you have your foundational courses, which would be at least 2 semesters, because you have to take Anatomy and Physiology 1 before you take Anatomy and Physiology 2. And then once you get into the program, it is a 5 semester. So it will be a total of 7 semesters. Oh, and the first day of classes in in January is actually the 20th instead of the 21st. Yep. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us. Luke gave you his and John Gilbert's information. And then for general questions, you can just contact us through either the chat, the email, or just call us at 865-694-6400.